Hello and welcome everyone. So today we are going to be talking about the most popular builds for Elementalist in 3.27 League, 3 weeks into the league, Path of Exile 1 obviously, and we are going to be looking at some Trade League builds and at some solo self-found builds as well, because at the third week of the league there's already a lot of characters that are fully decked out, that they have Mage Bloods, Headhunters, Svalins, and all the other stuff, and it's harder for you to discern which builds are actually the skills and the builds carrying the build, and which one of them are just Mage Bloods on top, and all the other different types of like Orioths and other things that give you power, clear speed, and it's just like, yeah, it's a bit harder for you to understand, is this a build actually, or it's just like the regular setup of very expensive items that is gonna carry almost any build to the top, or to the at least like good results. So we are gonna be looking at some characters from Trade League, we are gonna be looking at some characters from a solo self-found league, and we are gonna be looking at maybe like week 1 results of the population, just for you to, if you are a new player, or you are just like you're going for second character, it's your alt, and you want to try something else, here it being Elementalist, probably week 1 characters are going to be more useful for you, because you are not going to be able to get all the things that are on these characters currently from the get-go, but maybe you have a budget. Anyways, let's go and let's look at the builds. Let's look at the skills themselves for the start. So basically, in general, this league, Elementalist is the most popular ascendancy in Path of Exile 1 and 3.27. Golems are very powerful, and Elementalist just in general, being it Ignite, being it physical skills, being it wand skills with elemental damage, all these types are very prominent and powerful, and some Penance brand of Dissipation as well is that action is going on too. But here let's look at the raw numbers. Reap is the most popular thing for you to go for, and it's fully physical damage over time. Maybe let's check at least like one character in here. This helmet, the Dark Monarch, you will see a lot this league. You can see here in its population is pretty close to, it should be somewhere. It should have been somewhere around here, but it's close to like 20%. Here it is, yeah. So even like 75% for, but that's for Reap. If we were not to look at Reap, it's 23%. And for Reap, almost everyone uses this helmet. It gives you some chaos res plus level to mining minion skills for your golems, increases that doubles your number of summoned golems. You cannot have other minions other than golems, and you don't really want to have any other ones, and it gives you some pretty good amount of energy shield. So this one is very, very popular this league on Elementalists. So yeah, and this is your Reap. This is just a an example of Reap character that is from the Trade League, but it is from the latest snapshot even, and it doesn't have Mage Blood or Headhunter, which is, to be honest, a little bit weird. We do have some items that are worth like looking at and understand it, that they are not cheap at all, but just in general, yeah. So as you can see here, it's Vol Reap with Corrupting Fever with in one 6 link, and then it's like Empower, Efficacy, Brutality, Swift Affliction, but it's just in general. That is the most popular setup. Then we do have like Frost Blink of Wintry Blast specifically. Of course, our golem setups. We do have almost all golems, except for Carrion. Oh yeah, so there's Carrion Golem of Horse too. And this is one of the most popular builds out there on the trade league specifically, but on the SSF as well. So Reap is the number one with Corrupting Fever. This is the same build. Then there is a lot of Eviscerate characters. These are two, if you can like look at here, these are more specific with all the energy blade, energy shield stacking through ephemeral edge, which is quite the old technology that has been used for quite a while already. We do see here as well a lot of different powerful items too. So these in particular, it's damage over time from the Eviscerate with deadly ailments, volatility, burning damage, early damage, unbound ailments. So it's specifically in this particular build, all the other ones down there, they more often use Mage Blood. Here we do have Diadem Dawn, which means you're igniting enemies, and this is the main type of damage that you basically deal. You can look at we can look at some other characters with higher or lower damage. So Diadem Dawn again, and here of course Mage Blood can be used as well. Still Ephemeral Edge, still Polaric Devastation, Taming, Aegis Aurora, just in general. Very powerful shield with energy shield builds, so 9,000 energy shield, 38,000 armor, Incandescent Heart of course. And it can depend on the budget, but just in general, Eviscerate, Swift Affliction, Deadly Ailments, Burning Damage, still the same stuff, still the Ignite damage scaling here. Then of course we do have Penance Brand of Dissipation, which is like more regular type of build, I would say, than the Ephemeral Edge stacking one. But just in general, here I was scrolling the Penance brand characters, and you rarely can see a build without Mage Blood, without the Venarius Astrolabe, and a lot of different other unique items. So this is the Trade League current conditions of the meta, with Kinetic Blast and Kinetic Fussilade being a little bit down there too. So with Kinetic Blast we see here a lot of lightning damage and a lot of cold damage too, but mostly these two, not a lot of fire damage, not a lot of other types, but there aren't a lot of other types just in general. And Kinetic Fussilade is the very, very similar thing going on, and it's going to be okay. So here we do have some other items too. Not only Mage Bloods and Headhunters, but just in general, you can see here that Kinetic Fussilade, volatility, less duration, elemental damage with attacks, great GMP, and Trinity. So it's more of a standard, and as you can see here with the wand has a lot of flat elemental damage on it, high attack speed, all the stuff like that. It's more of a common build type, I guess. Here we see Fallborn Skin of the Lords, but Warped Timepiece, very common here. Time Clasp as well, very common here on these types of builds. And just in general, this is your Wonder. So Wonders are quite popular on Elementalists as well. And now let's look a little bit at SSF builds that are highly progressed. It is still like current snapshot, which means that it is third week, the end of the third week of the league. But builds and items are a bit more accessible, a bit more adequate, and you can see the build itself, not as much all the pricey items slapped on it. So here we see this is either Fussilade, so it's Kinetic Fussilade with Trinity, less duration, Sacred Wisps. You can use multiple different support gems here, greater volley or GMP and volatility. So it's very common to go for these. Of course, Flame Golem, Stone Golem, Lightning Golem, with your choice of a traversal skill, here it being Lightning Warp with less duration, some heralds, Precision, Herald of Thunder as well, Herald of Ice, so a lot of heralds as well, and of course the mark with the last golem, with the last type of golem that we're using. In terms of items on this build, you see here still a lot of flat elemental damage on the character, so the character has numbers here may not represent the specific DPS that you're gonna be doing, but this character is level 99 in SSF. It's Feral Bloodline as well, and yeah, just a regular your Wonder type of weapon that has a lot of flat damage. With shield, it's just like energy shield. You can see here 8000 energy shield is the EHP of this character here, with some other energy shield focused gear as well. Here and here, some additional flat damage on your gloves, inflicting exposures. Of course, this is what the Elementalist is very powerful for. Increases effect of buffs from your golems as well. And again, warped timepiece, which is very commonly found. It's not a rare item by any means. Time clasp. This particular combination we see that is used in both SSF and Trade League characters of this type, and here we see like the Lost Unity, but it's probably not used in all the builds. Just in general, here we see heralds being heavily utilized, of course Liege of the Primordial, and of course Heart of Destruction with Mastermind of Discord. So yeah, this is some typical Kinetic Fussilade build. Now here we do have that is Exsanguinate Ignite. So yeah, let's go here. I kinda went backwards, so we're starting from Kinetic Fussilade here, then we're going for Exsanguinate, and then we're gonna look at Kinetic Blast. So this is Exsanguinate Ignite, so we do have +2 levels of all spell skills, of course, fire damage multi, just fire damage, flat fire damage, everything where you can basically stack fire damage is very good for you, some cast speed as well. Now in our main link it's Exsanguinate, burning damage, Ignite per leaf, cruelty, combustion, and swift affliction. So you're just ramping your ignite damage in general. Here you can see it. When it comes to, of course, amulet, everywhere we are trying to get +2 levels of spell gems, of course. Here we do have inflict fire exposure on hit, and yeah, to be honest, here it's this character has a little bit of armor, has 5.5k life, which is pretty good, but all the other pieces are quite generic, with Joyra's Damning in here in particular for additional curse and being able to apply it. And yeah, nothing really special in here. So we are still going for Liege of the Primordial, Bringer of Ruin for Herald effects, Shaper of Storms for shocks, and Shaper of Flames for all damage can ignite. And yeah, just like this, hits always ignite, so you don't have to worry about the chance to ignite and different types of damage. So flammability here as our curse, all the regular setup for golems, Malevolence, Tempest Shield for survivability, a couple of heralds as well, Frost Blink, and your like basic survivability setup for the gems as well. Now after the Exsanguinate, there goes Kinetic Blast, and Kinetic Blast should be on the radar, but so this is most likely it. Yeah, so this is the Kinetic Blast character. It is just a simple one with no unique items, almost like only Glorious Vanity here, that gives us Corrupted Soul, that gives us some additional energy shield scaled from maximum life. We see here like this character is hybrid, not a lot of defense stuff going on, to be honest, but pretty okay. Chance to block, spell block. Just in general, gear here is mostly some evasion rating and energy shield combined, some higher chances to block, a little bit of flat regen, and of course flat damage, flat elemental damage to attacks with exposure being applied automatically, gain rage and attack. Everything is very similar to what we saw on Kinetic Fussilade, and the wand is regular high flat elemental damage 1 with critical strike chance and as high attack speed as possible. Everything else is pretty generic, some life accuracy, some additional flat damage to attacks, critical strike multiplier where it is possible, and yeah, to be honest, nothing more here. So this character is still at the top of the ladder when it comes to the elementalists with the Kinetic Blast. So Trinity support, increased critical damage, volatility, summon sacred wisps, and fork support with all the other stuff. So let's look at Ascension again. So it's Liege of the Primordial, Shaper of Storms for more reliable shocks, Mastermind of Discord, and Heart of Destruction. These two talents, it's quite obvious they are very big. They are the big powerhouse that Elementalist has. And then when it comes to other skills, it's just your standard golem setups. Tornado here as well with Wall of Force for Kinetic Blast, very powerful, very potent, with Spell Slinger, which yeah, it makes it instant if you need it. Then Assassin's Mark with Mark on Hit, Tempest Shield for some additional survivability, Immortal Call with cast when damage taken, again shield charge, nothing special and nothing. There's not a lot of things that you cannot understand about this build. So there's like, in my opinion, there are a lot of different builds that are very hard to get into. You need to like understand a lot of different types of mechanics that overlap and how they work together. But here it is very simple. And it works. Now, Corrupting Fever with Reap. Okay, so this character is in particular... Okay, so yeah, there was additional character with Exsanguinate Mines in SSF for Keepers that I saw with mostly cold damage, as you can see here. And this is sort of the type of a build that Trickster uses with all their mine setups. And here we just see that the maximum amounts of plus 2 levels of your Exsanguinate, of course, with some additional spell damage and critical spell, critical strike chance with Heat Shiver, with the Archon's Tools, and with Winterweave. Otherwise, it's all yet again focused on plus 2 levels. Here it should have plus 2 levels as well. Yes, of course, increased mine throwing speed is almost valuable as well, and everything else is just goes to work for the for your survivability and some additional physical damage conversion to cold damage, of course. So we do have only on the gloves a 60% conversion. Yes, and here we are going for Bastion of Ailments, so at least this person went for it. Now, that gives us some additional survivability. Liege of the Primordial is very, very powerful. Shaper of Storms for shocks and Shaper of Flames for additional ignites, I guess, and yeah. And enemies ignited by you. Oh, so this is the main reason. So we do have 60% conversion from the from the gloves and 40% conversion of physical damage. I'm sorry. This is whenever the damage that they deal to you. So yeah, still additional defenses as well. You always ignite enemies. Now you convert part of physical damage into fire damage, and you can make it way lower than the physical damage that you otherwise would have got. And then with Exsanguinate itself, it's charged mines, minefield, high impact mine, trap and mine damage, and increased critical damage. So this build in particular focuses a lot on critical strike, critical damage. So yeah, the Arcanist brand map with Reap for then summon Skitterbots, Hatred, and Bone Chill for Skitterbots, Awakened Unbound Ailments for Skitterbots as well. Standard couple of golems that we get for the buffs, of course. Bear Trap with automation and detonate mines with automation. Bear Trap against bosses. Shield Charge, faster attacks, Frost Blink, all the regular traversal skills. So this one was quite interesting, and I decided to show it as well. Then we do have, so this is our Kinetic Blast, we've saw it already, and then other type of Kinetic Blast that utilizes way more unique items with Hyrie's Ire, with the Taming, Fury Valve, Dark Monarch that we've seen a lot, and Magnate, which is was probably like good enough for this person to use, but yeah. It is not the best for the best in slot for the build. We sometimes see the use of Primordial Eminence jewels that increase effective buffs granted by our golems. And in general, here we still see for Kinetic Blast Fork returning projectiles here, summon Sacred Wisps, elemental damage with attacks, Tornado of course with Spellslinger support, and all the other stuff is quite similar to things that we've saw in the previous Kinetic Blast characters. And now of course Rip. So this is SSF version of it. We do have Vol Reap here, Corrupting Fever, Empower, Awakened Brutality, Efficacy, and Swift Affliction, with Frostblink of Wintry Blast, with some additional things for you to cast it more efficiently, faster, and stuff like that. Of course, our Golem setup, Steel Skin with Automation, Herald of Purity with Pride, Exsanguinate just on the lower AoE focused setup here, Herald of Thunder, Tempest Shield, and Summon Carrion Golem of Horse. Okay, and this character in particular, even in SSF, it is pretty powerful as well. It has very interesting items. We do use Barracks Respite here, and people in general use Barracks Respite with all the enemy bursting from whenever you kill them, their corpses bursting with damage whenever you either shock or ignite enemies. All the other parts here are specifically tied to +2 levels of spell skill gems, so physical spell skill gems, a lot of cast speed as well, because we are manually using Reeve, of course, some physical damage over time, Dark Monarch as well, a lot of as much energy shield as possible from gear, of course, and that's mostly it when it comes to this build in general. So these are the most popular builds for Elementalist. It's like top 5, top 6, with way lower amounts, with being like Volatile Dead, Explosive Arrow, even some Righteous Fire as well. But yeah, to be honest, the top like 5, 6 builds for Elementalist are very, very obvious, I guess, in terms of their popularity. So this is this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you're having a good time, and goodbye.